Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle, your favorite hosts for all things ever.
For all things crazy and out of pocket, because you could watch like Hoda and the rest of them and like
Ew,
The View.
why?
But why? Because you get
Hoda's not on The
you
View,
get
but
cinnamon
sure.
and vanilla right here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about vanilla, but
Right, because I'm not really vanilla. I'm what? What do you say? White
adjacent. Because of like the whole DEI. Anyway,
okay. Welcome to Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. We're so grateful you guys joined us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. And thank you to Talk Red. Guys, make sure you check out all that Talk Red has to offer. They've got a lot of great shows. And keeping you up to date on what's happening. Plus, they've even, I know they've branched into one of our faith friends, Pastor Tom Lapley even has his podcast. So tying in current events with how it lines up with the Word of God, it's pretty amazing. So make sure you check them out.
When pastors do that, they take Bible and they apply it practically.
Well, and here's the thing: if it used to be that the church was the people that you looked to for how to frame what's been going on culturally, and when the church stepped out of that, or stepped aside really willingly, what are you going to do with that gap? You know, of course, the enemy looks for a place to get a stronghold. Welcome, guys. We've got so much on this hump day.
Damn is the name of our
Damn.
It's a name.
Wow. She just yelled. The dog was startled. I think everybody in the studio's losing their mind. Hot damn for the 4th of July. Yes. Plus, the Super Nanny speaks. Do you remember Ho? I didn't call her Ho.
How she used to speak.
You can't about take. Her name is Joe Frost. You remember the
English
fish or English?
Yeah, English.
So we'll be talking about the teen takeovers and her take on it. And pop out. I don't know if you're gonna like.
A lot of people are like, "Where are the parents?" I'm like, maybe they don't have any. Maybe that's why.
That's kind of crazy. Maybe they're unaccompanied migrants. We don't know. But. We also want to talk about the fact that yesterday was the election for LA mayor. How did Spencer Pratt do? We're on pins and needles waiting for that. Although
that's today.
Yeah, well, the election was Tuesday yesterday. Oh, so the thing is, we still don't know definitively because California takes forever to calculate votes.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting ready.
All right, you guys, let's open that mic and let's see how out of pocket we can get today.
Sure.
Two queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
This coffee is good.
I know, right?
Making me a coffee snob.
I know. I'm telling you, like so good.
We have an addition to our studio, and I'm not talking about Austin's haircut because it looks like a new dog in the studio. But
oh, my poor baby.
We have a Lego phone.
We do. Who are we calling?
We're gonna say this is the hotline for the liberals to call 1-800. I don't give a damn, and we'll just answer it when people. And then we've got our liberal tears tissue box. Maybe we'll actually have to get some swag and marketing behind this and see if we can sell those. So, Allie, let's start with really putting things in perspective. You are going to hear a lot of talk on mainstream media, especially the extreme left-leaning, about the crunch that we're feeling as Americans in our wallet.
I've been getting some phone calls about this as well. How can you support a president who our inflation is like blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, listen, do you remember Joe Biden? Do you remember what that was
Joe
like?
Biden doesn't remember Joe Biden, but do you remember Joe Biden?
And then they talk because they can't defeat the information I give. And then they're like, well, okay, but what about our gas prices? And I'm like, well, do you know OPEC? And they're like, what? And then I have to go into explaining that. And so this is the problem, right? Is like we have situation where there isn't enough, I think, kitchen table messaging. For the average American to understand what is going on. So it's largely left to people like you and I and others that are on social media or that have platforms to discuss what is really going on and providing that information because the news media is not doing a good job of it.
Definitely not. And you, as people that watch Out of Pocket Live, you are consumers, and you need to make sure that you're consuming messages that that really help you as you go through your day to day. So I really want to make sure you guys saw this. This was a great post by first Hunter Engelman, and then Benny Johnson picked it up. Take a look at this. It says, "Don't listen to the noise or the media. Here's are the facts. You've got the Trump first administration. Remember that prior to COVID." And all the lockdowns when they told you your mom and pop businesses weren't essential. 1.9% inflation. Then we had the author of the auto pen, Joe Biden. Even he looks confused. 5% inflation. We're not
5%, y'all.
dude. Like
Inflation.
that bad. And then you've got the second Trump administration here sitting at 2.8%. It is hard to grab a hold of a ship and steer it right. Not saying that we're well within a second year of Trump's administration. We can definitely say, yeah, we're still feeling it. We're feeling the pain at the pump, but you've got to understand where that comes from,
Yeah.
Allie. We have had a huge supply chain issue that I feel like was largely manufactured. That's just my
I agree.
opinion, especially through COVID. They used a lot of weapons there to try to hurt the American people. You've got
Yeah, like by shutting down pipelines.
You've got the left that's on Capitol Hill, starting with Schumer, who
And the right.
they forced shutdowns
Yep.
and said that they really wanted to go after your pocket and your security
Make
to
you
try to
suffer.
make you feel it, to try to get their way like a couple of whiny children. So not comfortable with this. I don't like the gas prices, but you have to understand the gas prices, and Trump has said this many times. You're not hearing it widely reported. The gas prices, as Ali said, has nothing to do with what's taking place in Iran.
Yeah.
You've got we just sent an entire cargo ship to Japan,
I think so.
China, somewhere in the Orient, with a ton of crude oil, because we are one of the largest suppliers of oil now.
We are.
So we are energy independent in that way.
That's the point.
But you've got bureaucracies that you didn't elect that control pricing. Now, when we do this in the state and in your county, we call it gouging. But when you do it under a title of OPEC, it's just allowed. So you have to put pressure where it needs to be due. When somebody is in a bureaucracy like OPEC, like the Federal Reserve, and they don't like who's at the helm in the country that you voted for, they do have tools and resources that they can try to put the pinch and the squeeze on you, the American people, in hopes that in like a midterm year of elections, you might put blame where it doesn't belong. So just want to make sure you understand. I don't feel like the Trump administration is deaf to the harms that's coming your way as the middle class America, but know who to blame.
Exactly. And it's not even, know who to blame.
And so if I was going to make a list, the first person I would blame are the people who, the Fauci, the ouchie Fauci crew, who were a part of shutting down businesses as we had the most booming economy since the Great Depression under Trump's first administration. They did it because they had extreme TDS and couldn't stand the wins he was getting. Then I would blame the auto pen generation of the Biden administration that let this country go to hell in a handbasket. And then third, I would hold responsible those that slid into office on Trump's coattails but have no intention of helping him.
That is a good list, sis. That's
Thank
a
you.
great list. And
Don't get on my shit list.
I co-sign that list. Make sure you're voting for better candidates.
Yeah.
And show the ones that have been elected on President Trump's coattails and haven't done anything, that they're not worth your consent to be governed under anymore.
Yes. Because
Revoke
every couple years they come around with every answer in the book, and then 18 months later did really none of it. And here's the thing, I'm watching these representatives, Allie, from the House of Representatives in DC, and I love many of them. Many of them are from Florida. We love our Florida representatives, but there's like victory after victory after victory. I introduced this bill, I passed this bill, we got this passed, and I want to celebrate, but all I see, it's like the interstate here in Florida. There's just such a back pile, a traffic jam, a bottleneck, because I'm like, the Senate can't even pass.
They're not keeping up.
They can't even pass the Save America Act.
And that's the most important. I think that one and the Spin Act, which would nullify, it would return the Smith-Month Modernization Act back to the Smith-Month Act.
Yeah. Telling the media that they can't lie to you.
Lie or propagandize to the American people. Those two, I believe, are like two of the most important
How nice to get those
passed.
both passed, Allie, before elections. Like
Why?
these should already be in effect.
It should have been passed like day one.
Yeah.
It passed the House 2 years ago, almost.
I mean, you're going to see it, guys. Hopefully you guys are still staying dialed in to get out and vote in your primaries and in the midterms, but people are voting differently. Look at who the Trump endorsed candidates have been that challenged in the primary, their primary challengers that were not the incumbents that, Trump said, "Pow, you're not going to do your job. We're going to make sure we go after your seat." And I'm grateful to see some new blood possibly in there. Let's not sleep on the fact that we are about a month and a half away from the celebration of our independence, but the 250th birthday of our independence. So take a look
I'm
at
so excited.
what the Hoover Dam is doing. Hot damn. Take a look.
Wow.
That is gorgeous.
I wonder what Florida's doing.
As the Hoover Dam was lit up red, white, and blue for Memorial Day weekend, they're going to go even bigger than this for America 250. The American flag was draped across this landmark. The patriotic display will shine nightly through July 4th.
Wow.
Wow. I wonder how big that flag is.
It's a huge flag and I love it. It's amazing.
Huge flag. And Allie, here's the thing. Like, do you remember, guys, and I'm not going to show it, but do you remember when the White House under Joe Biden was lit up in the rainbow? And it wasn't a celebration of God's promise to people.
Yeah.
It was a different message that it was sending. And although you can do what you want with your adult life in your bedroom, we have to be careful what messages we're sending. All we're trying to do is celebrate every fabric of America.
Yep.
And all that means.
Freedom. Well, liberty, because liberty is freedom with responsibility.
Yeah. And Allie, just for curiosity, just for shits and giggles, where do your rights come from, Allie?
Oh, they come from God, not government, you guys. It is not a stroke of a pen. So
an auto pen.
Right. Through legislation. And I while I love that some people are coming out and they're like, Republicans gave the right to vote, blacks to vote. That's not an accurate statement. They just codified the Constitution into an amendment.
Yes.
Which
because
it shouldn't have been a
even
thing,
back
but
then, you had people interpreting the Constitution outside of the author's vested interest. I mean, really. So you're right, Allie.
Corrupt men, right?
Corrupt.
This is exciting. I'm so excited about America 250.
What are your plans for America 250? I want to know. I want to know.
Well,
are you traveling somewhere else? I heard somebody posted the other day, and I saw it on my feed that RVs, travel RVs, vacation RVs are like, you know how you can rent them?
Yeah.
That is surging right now.
Because everyone's going to Washington.
It's shocking. DC. It's shocking because I think of gas prices, and I'm like, well, that's going to be. But people are like compensating and making the plan because they want people. You want to get away. People want to really try to make it memorable. Wow, words today.
Memorable. She's Latina. It's okay.
Spanish.
So yes. I mean, I would love to go see Mount Rushmore during the America 250. Seriously,
if you go, I'm
I like maybe even go down to NASA here in Florida to see like the Space Coast to see what that would look like.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Florida, I'm excited.
I mean, would you like to be in DC? Because there's a way. There might be a way.
Pennsylvania.
There might be a way.
There might be a way.
Okay.
There might be a way.
We're not letting anything out of the
I'm excited.
It's so exciting. Comment below on what you might do with your family for America 250 for the 4th of July. We're excited. Allie, I want to just pivot a little bit because I know we're both mommies. And I used to watch this show. This was back the beginning of sort of reality television. And so it didn't look too scripted. But do you guys remember Supernanny?
Ooh.
And like she would pull in and she'd like come up and they'd show you the worst of what was happening in a household. And like we would just sit there and be like, oh, that child needs a timeout.
Or papa on the
or the parent needs to remember who's the parent. And then this British nanny would show up and with her, I love her accent because for some reason, if you tell me off with an accent, it's like, it's not as bad. Maybe I need to date. Never mind.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is Supernanny, Joe Frost. She is livid about these teen takeovers. We're going to watch this and then we'll talk a little bit about the teen takeovers.
hell is going on? Teen takeovers. They've got children running through shopping centres, terrorising people, smashing up shops, attacking strangers, filming it for social media like it's entertainment. Parents, please get a grip on your children. Seriously, what happened to parenting? What happened to standards? What happened to raising children to respect people, respect themselves, and understand the consequences? Some of you don't know where your kids are. You don't know who they're with. You don't know what they're doing. And your child, I get told they ignore your texts like you're powerless. Like, how is this the case? Who's paying for the phone? Who's putting food on the table? Who's responsible for that child? You. You are. Your children. You're responsible for them. And before anybody comes for me, right, before they do, I'm not having you blaming the schools, the police, the social media, the government, or society. Like, seriously, this starts at home. You are the parent. Lead your family. Sit your children down. Look them in the eye. Draw the line. Uphold the boundaries. Follow through with consequences. Because right now, too many parents are terrified of upsetting their children. How is this? How? This is weak leadership. And you know what it's doing? It's creating lost children. You cannot raise children with no accountability and then act shocked when they run wild in public. This isn't kids being kids. This is a breakdown of parenting and responsibility. There's a parenting crisis happening. And trust me, the consequences are coming because the police, they're intervening. There's going to be criminal records, courtrooms, fines, prison sentences, not just for some of these kids, but for you parents too. You cannot keep saying, well, I don't know what my child is doing. That excuse is done. It's done. Did you learn nothing over the last 22 years?
Somebody pissed off the nanny.
Yep. I think, have you ever seen, what is the name of that show? It's not a show, it's a movie. Oh my gosh, my kids loved this movie where it's the single dad. Oh my gosh. It's almost like a Mary Poppins, but not really. Like, she comes in, she's like an ugly nanny. She takes the kids because it's a single dad. The mom died, and he's got like 6 kids. And like, she comes in and like
a Disney one?
They hate her and they're terrible. But the more they act like the way that they're supposed to act, she like gets prettier at the end. And then like,
I've not seen this.
Nanny McPhee, I think it's the name of it.
Oh, wow. Bad parenting on my part.
It is really cute. It's a cute movie. It is. It's a cute movie. And my kids loved it. I mean, I don't know. One of them was afraid of it because like anyway, we're just going to leave that alone. I've terrified my children with movies apparently. So it's fine. But I remember having this conversation when I was on OAN with David Pollack. Go watch it. David Pollack Primetime on OAN. You can follow YouTube, whatever. Find it and go watch because he's amazing. Friend of mine. Ours. Anyway, I remember being on the show and I'm like, why does this look like Grand Theft Auto?
Yes.
Like, and I'm not blaming video games because that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is, where the heck are the parents? Do they not have any? And what Joe is saying here is she's like, they're not answering my text message. Well, excuse me.
Pays for the phone. And she ends up at the place where I think this is the conversation we have to have, and we have to have it in education too. When did we become fearful
of our own
children? And I don't want to see the pendulum swing so far to the other direction where we have,
abusive parents.
Yes. Or abusive people in school.
Right.
But it is a pendulum, and there is a place where it needs to rest.
Yes.
Because, and until that accountability, as much as we are parental rights advocates, absolutely.
Yes.
Now we need to bridge into the equipping parents to be their own advocates when it comes to their parents.
Maybe we need to bring back Scared Straight.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember Scared Straight?
Well, now the left is going to take that to mean something to do with LG. LMNOP.
There was a TV show called Scared Straight
Yeah.
where they would take troubled teens who
Yep.
were not listening to their mothers.
Mhm.
They would either bring in strong father figures, right?
Yes.
Mentors,
Right.
strong father mentors that
Yep.
looked like them, right? Like whether it's a Black family or Latino family or whatever.
Right.
That it would come and mentor the child, right? To make sure that because largely a lot of this is occurring because we have single moms.
Yes. Single
And we
parents,
don't
yeah.
single parents, right? Well, dads
or grandparents raising their children.
that
Their
part,
grandchildren, yeah.
which they don't really have the tools
No.
to discipline, especially if they're disabled or they're on fixed income and don't
Right.
have the resources. And so these kids are just on their social media devices or on their devices and they're running rampant, right?
Right.
But anyway, that's a little tangent. But they would take the troubled children to a prison facility
Mhm.
to show them your actions will lead you here.
Yeah.
This is what it's like to be among these people.
Mhm.
This is what juvie looks like.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of kids that they behave like prison.
Right.
And it's terrifying to young kids, I feel like,
Yes.
but maybe not because
Well-
they're being raised in a culturally where you have musicians and entertainment movies that are and
sports. You've got, athletes that
and with social media like TikTok and Reels
the
that
TikTok
are
challenges.
pushing some of this
Yeah.
kinds of behavior, and it's molding the minds of these young children.
Yes.
And if they don't have strong boundaries and they don't have accountability for their actions, they are going to continue to do this behavior. They
so
just
true.
will.
So true, Allie. We just saw this in our my own local area. You
Yes.
should check out what your schools are doing as far as their discipline policies in your school district, or if you're in a private school, you have your own board that they answer to. We sitting in this like sort of teen court environment and just watching how, again, these are peers that are talking about, if you do this, here's what the consequence should be. They are putting what they think their own consequences should be.
Mhm.
And we were talking specifically about vaping. And I'm listening to the kids, and they're comparing their policies in our county versus another county that seems to be a little more strict. And I made the comment because vaping is known to be addictive. The substances are addictive. So I said,
It's the same as
do
smoking.
you think that it's easier to maybe nip it in the butt, so to speak? Maybe your first consequence should be harsher, because by the time you get to the third, there is an addiction, a stronger
Already,
addiction.
yeah.
They were already themselves advocating for that. They said, Miss
Wow.
Posey, thank you for saying that. That's actually what we want. We want as adolescents, they wanted stronger consequences on the first offense.
Yes.
They're saying, our kids, the young people are crying out, hold me responsible, because that's how I know you care about me and you're vested in me.
Because back in
Whoa.
the day, if you talked out your neck to your mama or to your grandmama, you weren't talking for a while. And then she would threaten you and be like, call them if you want to. I'll dial the number.
It wasn't even wait till your dad got home. It was, my mommy is gonna, no.
It was what you say. I got karate chop in the throat. Like that's what. So, but we're not raising our kids that way anymore. We have conscious parenting,
Absolutely.
or no parenting at all. And so I think we're going to see more of these.
We need to give our parents tools that they can use.
Can we reopen rec centers, please? And can we please
but can they not be controlled by leftist organizations? And because that's happened. I mean,
raise the bar is my point.
Yes,
we need to raise the bar of accountability and cultural acceptance of appropriate behavior. We all know what appropriate behavior is.
We do.
You don't cuss in front of your parents. You don't cuss in front of each other, especially if there's younger kids around.
Yes.
Like, I am tired of going to public pools in like development areas, where I call them developments because I grew up in New Jersey, so it's a development. Everyone else is like, it's a neighborhood. I was like, okay, my bad. It's a neighborhood, I guess. It's just a development. That's just what I called it. I don't know. That's what happens when you take a kid out the hood. I don't know what to say. Look, I grew up in East Orange, New Jersey. Okay. Like, we didn't have anyway, yes, it was a neighborhood, but it didn't look like, never mind. So yes, I'm tired of going to these public pools and having children like extremely disrespectful There's trash everywhere. There's curse words being flown all over the place. It's just uncomfortable for
Well, then you
people
have
that
to-
have children that follow rules and are respectful.
Because that's the hardest thing we're seeing even in our schools too, is that when you don't hold people accountable, it sets the standard of, well, she got away with it, he got away with it, mom, why do I have to if they can? And that, I mean, but these are conversations you can't look the other way from. You have to have them.
And I have them at the public pools
and maybe they need to be with an earshot while you say it, because that parent might be
and
like,
I do. And I don't care.
Listen,
and you can look at me sideways.
Help out with the
and
picture
I've
too.
gotten a couple of FUB because I said something. And I'm like, look, that's fine. Take that over there, though. Because I'm not the one.
I'm not the one. Today is not the day. And that goes for every day, Monday through Sunday.
Don't make me come down.
Allie, want to just pivot a little bit before our commercial break. This is, so listen, we always get people that scream in our face about this false separation of church and state, not at all historically accurate. It's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. But we don't have time for a history lesson here today. What I want to focus on is Minneapolis, where we have seen the fraud that's taken place and that's now being prosecuted. Thank you so much to the DOJ for doing this. But the larger question that I have now is that you've got these migrant strongholds in different cities. This has always been the case. Chicago's always had, you've got Chinatown, you've had people that kind of gather into certain areas because they have a commonality with their culture,
familiarity.
Right? I completely understand that, but this is an issue. This is what you're about to see is a Minneapolis school, a public school. So it is funded by public dollars. Let's just take a look, see if you're comfortable with this. What? I don't know what you're saying. And
I need context.
This is posted by the libs of TikTok. It says, meanwhile, public schools in Minneapolis. Here's what I have an issue with, Allie. Is this okay? I can remember when I was in college.
International Day.
Well, yeah, I can remember when I was in college, a little bit older. And of course, I went to a college that was for performing arts. And so everything that we studied was in context of performing. And so we got to learn African dance. We got to learn, it was pretty amazing to learn different cultures and to celebrate different cultures as an enrichment to the fabric of the melting pot in which we live, not to take it over.
Right.
And that was the lens. Yes, that was the lens that it was put through. This, I need context of what they're saying.
Yes.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure who is. So for example, I cannot go into a public school and start advocating for Christianity or have the children do it in a play or in a song. And this is confusing to me because I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. Why? And you can see there are other children and other people in the community sitting there. This is like the call to prayer thing that the reason I have an issue with it is I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's my ears. Yeah. And I don't want to have to you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
It's a foreign language. I don't understand it. I think it's disrespectful to say it in that foreign language in front of me when I don't know what you're saying. Am I, I don't know. If I go to your country, I'm going to really try to learn the language beforehand. But if I go to your country, I want to have an interpreter
and stay.
Well, to live, good God Almighty, you better be learning the culture and the language. But even just on a vacation, I would want to travel with an interpreter because there would be nothing that pains me more than to go into your country.
Sponsored by Ray-Ban Meta Glasses. Sorry, because you can totally do that with Meta Glasses. I'm just saying.
Well, get me a pair.
They also have these devices on your phone. Someone was at Walmart and I had asked a question and the guy is not fluent in English. and had to put on Google Translate in order for I asked the question in English and he understood it.
We
because he
should
had
do
to
that
translate.
with this.
So we should. But if it is if it is a school program and this is something that's happening, there is nothing that is keeping the school from putting out a pamphlet on what that specific phrase or song is actually about.
Yes.
Translate it
Right.
so that everyone that is in the audience that may not know the language knows what is being said. That is part of enrichment with culture, right? You don't want to alienate people that are American and that
Right.
can't speak this language while highlighting a different culture that is speaking a native tongue. Now, if this, and I mean, that's just a way to fix it, right?
Yeah, right.
If it's an international thing, like a celebratory kind of international day, like our kids just had at the end of the year, they have International Day where everyone participates. It's not just the culture participates.
Right.
Everyone participates in different areas. Like my daughter, she represented the Philippines. She's not Filipino, y'all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. So, but she got to wear a costume, like a costume of the dress,
Yeah.
traditional dress. She spoke, maybe said a phrase in Tagalog.
Yeah.
So she, and she's like, Mom, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then my other daughter did an Irish dance, and she's like, Mom, all we did was clap our hands and like move our feet and in a circle, and that was fine. But she was like, she's 7, so it doesn't, like, it's fine. But
Yes.
provide some consent and some context.
Yeah, and some
and some information
context.
about it.
And here's the thing, and this is just my own personal opinion.
But don't put religion in it, like, right?
Yeah,
If you
and
can.
so this is my personal opinion on this, and obviously I'm gonna get all of the hate.
I agree with you when it
don't
comes
care.
to religious
And
stuff.
I don't care. Like, this is just my personal opinion. Does anybody else feel extremely uncomfortable watching young girls that age for whatever reason
fully
covered like that? Like, I mean, I'm equally as uncomfortable when they're
with the
wearing
booty shorts
the
from
booty
Old
shorts.
Navy. Okay,
Like, I get it. I get it.
Why are we doing this, Old Navy? Old Navy, get your stuff together, because
Get it
our baby
together.
girls
I'm
don't
e-
need to be doing that.
I'm
And
equally uncomfortable with the tuck-friendly swimwear for
That
kids,
part.
Target. Like, I'm not okay with it.
that
It's
part
all equally uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
But I guess the reason I have an issue with this is that, and I'll just take it back to our faith,
Yeah.
Christianity. There is
Can we recite the Lord's Prayer?
But there is a line, Allie, even in Christianity,
Mhm.
where some people take it too far to where I think young girls can become somehow almost ashamed of their bodies because
Yes.
we put so much pressure on young people to be responsible for the message you're sending with what you wear. Sometimes it's just freaking hot. And that's why I'm wearing a tank top and a pair of shorts that are above my knee. You know,
Right.
and we've done it. I've seen it done in Christianity too.
Mhm.
Like, it's your responsibility. And there's an ebb and flow to that. And I get it. There's just something about this that for me, it's hard to watch young girls. What message does that bring, that you have to cover every ounce of your being? Anything from eyebrow to chin can be left open, and we know why they do that in that culture. Whether they'll say it openly or not, they've said it many times.
But then they
because
sell the
it's-
9-year-old.
It's because it's your responsibility as a woman in that culture to not tempt a man. And the only way they can not be tempted is by covering you. But then, as Allie says, they'll marry off a 6-year-old. And
They won't marry her. They'll sell her. Sell her.
I guess you're right. Marriage instills consent, but
Right. Marriage is consensual.
yeah, thank you.
They'll sell her
Just food
into
for thought.
slavery with a grown man. Sorry, Pooch. Sir.
The dog just
Excuse
took
me,
the
sir.
camera out.
Sir.
He said, "Let me make my appearance."
Sting, come here. Come here, baby.
Guys, we are going to take a quick break to go get a word from Liberty Cigars. Go support Out of Pocket Ladies with promo code Open Mic. You'll get 10% off. Be right back after this message
Not
from
the
Liberty
same
Cigars.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order. Hey, welcome back.
No, I wanted you to read that. Like, actually,
Ooh.
like, but why would you, like, they're gonna, sorry, but it just got a little personal
Yeah,
here.
definitely not.
No.
That's not
Welcome.
what they do.
Welcome.
Considering that we've been gone and they have had zero engagement.
Zero engagement.
I mean, engagement, but like not as much as
Not as much. Welcome to Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. We're so grateful you guys joined us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey. And thank you, Talk Red, and our family, our supporters. We're so grateful.
Alley-oop. There we go.
Allie. Wow, that swag will write itself.
Mhm.
Okay, so moving a little bit on from into the second half of our show, there is a big announcement coming from the Department of Education. Hey, guys, listen, this will eventually affect your higher education in your state as well as your local schools. There is an announcement coming from Linda McMahon at the Department of Education.
Yes, ma'am.
Take a listen.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, that's the Workforce Pell Grant that has just recently been approved. It'll go into full effect July 1 of this year, and it will allow low economic students to apply for these Workforce Pell Grants and get within 8 to 15 weeks complete a program to go immediately into the workforce, into the skilled workforce. So they won't be finishing school with great debt. They'll be able to go right into the workforce. Governors approve those programs in the states, working with their workforce economic boards. Right. And it's a great opportunity to help our workforce shortage that we have in the country. And it's very helpful for these low-income students as well.
I love this. Why? And I have been getting a lot of comments about what Byron Donalds, gubernatorial candidate, has decided to roll out for his education vision for Florida, which literally coincides with the federal government.
I wonder why. It's almost like he's endorsed by like the president.
It's almost like it, right? Like almost like
they might share a lot of the same.
They might actually, because they like work together. I mean, I don't know. Maybe anyway. The reason why people are so upset about what he's doing, and if you have not paid attention or don't know, he has decided to roll out, instead of just IEPs for those that are struggling in school with special needs, so individual education plans for those that are struggling with special needs, or 504 plans that are struggling with special needs. What about the gifted, and what about the average student that needs help or a career path or a plan for education? They do this in Japan, and they have astronomical results and success with their workforce in Japan.
Yes.
Which is why a lot of them come from Japan and come to America, and they do great. Or our companies are outsourcing to Japanese or to India, because these people are utilizing this same program of individualized planning for education. These Pell Grants, I think, are amazing, especially for boosting our workforce, right?
So she goes on to say in this interview that for every 5 people in the workforce in the trades that retire, they are only substituted by 2 coming in. So think about what this looks like when you need your air condition fixed, when you need a house built, when you need your car worked on. We're not supplementing the workforce at the same rate that people are leaving the workforce through retirement. And here's where this is an issue to me. Here's where this is here's the issue. When I ask people, when they get their panties in a wad about some of the changes going on in education, albeit school choice, whatever, I ask them, what is the goal of education here in our country? What is the reasoning for going to school? Was it because you needed childcare? Is it because you wanted to, have your child be able to think and make friends and socialize? Is it so that when they turn 18, they can become a functional member of society and thrive? And here, this is going to tie back to our teen takeover time that we had earlier, because you know who ends up on these streets during these takeovers and outside of a Delaney, New Jersey ICE facility being paid to be a rioter by the extreme left? You know who does that? People that couldn't graduate from high school and go and get a meaningful job or a meaningful career somewhere.
that's
Now
fulfilling to
that's
them.
fulfilling. Yeah.
Instead, a lot of these young folks want to be social media influencers.
Oh Lord.
Some of them want to play video games and be like TikTok famous or YouTube famous, right?
Right.
Like they want fame, and then we focus more on sports,
Yeah.
which half of 1%, half of 1%, so like a fourth of the people that are in sports make it pro. And that's if you don't break yourself out of high school, you don't break yourself your second year of college, or you don't break yourself
Yeah.
before you even get on the field to play your first game.
Right, right, exactly. Well, and then you
So
look at how some of the professional athletes turn out because they're largely not prepared to deal with things
Right.
responsibly. So
they
even
don't
though
have a backup
their
plan.
athletic ability may have been here, sometimes their maturity is here.
And
it's
because
not.
they don't have a backup plan. This
Yeah.
honestly, and what I love about the DOJ, not the DOJ, the DOE, Department of Education, is how they were able to completely dismantle it and bring it back to
What
the
it's intended.
states,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what I believe Byron Donalds is doing is he's actually giving our school counselors a purpose.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Do you remember, guys? Do you remember when
I do.
financial student aid started to become available? I was told time and time again by my parents early on. Well, one parent predominantly was like, no, college isn't an option. It's not, we can't afford it. Because in their generation, if you didn't have the money sitting away somewhere in a bank account, your kid didn't go to college. And I was trying to tell them, no, it's changing. You've got these ways. Of course, you have to pay it back or you get grants or whatever, scholarships, but you can. And then my other parent was kind of like, no, we can do this. Let's figure out how to do this. There was a way forward that excited people. And that was the plan for school counselors. There wasn't as much of a
Yes.
need to get a grip on our mental stability because we
Right.
were so damn excited about what the potential was that we had in tomorrow. We don't have a potential in tomorrow anymore. So we're grinding our innovation to a halt. And you're doing it because you're married to a century-old system that is not working for students. It's not working for families.
That
It's not
part.
working for communities.
Ins-
It was meant
Yes.
for an industrial revolution where your eyes were to sit forward and you were to rise and sit at the chiming of a bell. We don't do that anymore in this country.
Now we are in, instead of an industrial revolution, we are in a technological revolution.
Amen. Amen.
And our children need to be prepared for that, which
Yes.
is why the Pell Grants to boost students entering the workforce is an amazing thing, because who is going to teach them how to do that?
Yes.
The school counselor is going to be.
And Allie,
Instead of them being psychologists and telling them what body they need to be in and what, you know what I'm saying, what gender they deserve to be, or what pronoun they want to go by, and what fake name they want to be called, they can actually focus on what is the education, what makes you excited about life.
absolutely.
What problem do you want to solve when you grow up?
And that's
what is it that you want to do when you leave school?
Amen. Amen. And that is where the leftist Marxist communist in each of our neighborhoods got it extremely wrong. You tried to tell kids that their identity was centered around what bathroom they pee in and who they want to have sex with. Mind you, they're minors, so shame on you for even saying that. That is not where identity is found. We need to get back to what is your purpose.
Yes.
And what I love about what Byron Donalds, what I love about what Byron Donalds is claiming he will do here in the state of Florida, and I hope to be a part of implementing this, is that I don't think this stops with your public school district.
No.
I think this is something that as we expand school choice and allow for people to take advantage of taking their children to whatever school they deem appropriate,
Yes.
I think these types of plans and pathways go with.
Yes.
And if you're sitting there on your Democrat principles
Or
and
your-
you can't celebrate the fact that we're going to help children develop their purpose and their plan to succeed, then you are tethered to an ideology, not to being a part of the solution. And I don't even have anything to say.
It's not even Democrats.
Whoa. It's the woke right.
It is the woke right. And I got the comment. I got the comment. Well, I'm getting conversations in my circles, is what was said in my circles. This is a no. And I was like, because you are not being messaged right. You're not understanding that this is a visionary. This is a way to build forward, to expand our purpose, and to expand to how can you disagree with someone trying to find the purpose for a child?
Letting the
parents
with the child with cooperation with parents and teachers find that purpose. I'm sorry, that's a trilogy that's amazing.
That is how you build
That's a trifecta
that,
right
but
there.
that's how you build a stronger America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Woo!
That's how you keep America being innovative. And we can't do that if we
I'll
don't
tell you
have
what.
structure and a foundation to do that.
Language matters, and language has largely changed. Some check this. Check this. This is your homework over the week. Check those in your community that consider themselves the most progressive, and then ask them why we're not making progress in our education system.
Ooh.
They want progress everywhere except when it takes authorship and control away from a
parents.
bureaucracy.
Yep. There you go.
All right, guys, we told you that yesterday was the election, Tuesday, for the LA mayor's race. So we don't have a whole lot of news to report to you right now, other than keep it tuned to our social media accounts to follow what happens there. But I want to give a little reflection of what Spencer Pratt has gone through just to step up. First of all, very comfortable in his life, even though they lost everything due to the negligence of the state of California, and especially the LA mayor, when they lost their homes like so many others did in the Palisades fire. But still, by your and I standards, very comfortable in their life. He didn't have to step out. I want you guys to hear just a portion of his mission to get to the truth. Take a listen.
Well, thankfully, I married an angel who was very connected with Jesus and has brought me to the light. You know, I was always not so bright in the light on the Lord's path here. And thankfully, my wife has always just been so connected with Jesus and God, and been like, Spencer, if this is God's plan, then it will be. And if not, then it won't. Then come home and help me with the kids. Yeah. So it's been very empowering to just pray and just be on this path and just say, God, if you want me to save these animals, save these humans, and protect my city, just keep putting me in the place where I can do that. And if it's not God's plan, it won't happen, and I won't have that pressure and that burden on my heart that I now feel because I am so close to being able to do it. And if that's not the plan, I won't feel that anymore. So that will be a blessing also. But going into the debate, I was very nervous because, again, I've never been a politician. I've never done a debate, and I've never argued with two lying demons live on TV in a political setting.
Yeah.
Technically, maybe in my past reality TV career, we could say that happened before. And I just said, God, if you want this for me, please just have me destroy them live on TV. And I walked off that stage, and this young high school kid came right up to me and he said, thank you, sir, for being the only one that told the truth up there on the stage. And for me, when I set out on this mission, it was just to get the truth at the highest platform I could. That's all I ever thought I would.
Wow. I love that, Allie, because this is the new way for people who want to step up and help their communities. We're not asking you to be a career politician. We're not asking you to be as eloquent as he is when he speaks. Just get out there and do the next right thing and be tethered, I believe, to God. Because as he's saying, is this where you're calling me, Lord? And if it is, you don't call the equipped, you equip the call.
Yes.
And that part will follow you. And he's already asking for that type of permission. Like, Lord, if this is what you're calling me to, because I'm stepping out in faith that it is, you will equip me at that perfect time to know how to do it, because he's sensing he's very close.
Wow.
And we'll be able to see here in the
And
next
yes, we will. And by the way, we've already learned that there were polling locations that were set fire to, and that there were some ballots that were found that were burned as well. So there's a lot of FF games, or shenanigans, you could say. I'm a little more abrasive, so that's fine.
You said FF. I thought you meant Fox and Friends.
FAFO games. There are FAFO games being played in Los Angeles. Go figure. When it comes to voting fraud. So,
but you have to say, Allie, you and I have sat here and talked about how groundbreaking this campaign.
It's been incredible.
He spoke your language. He kind of is 2.0 of what Trump did, right?
Yes,
like just coming out and saying what you felt.
Yep.
Let's just, in honor of Spencer Pratt and all that he's put on the line for this, no matter how it turns out,
Batman for LA. I love it.
Let's take a look at this largely AI derived video that really calls out how stupid and chaotic the left has been in the way they've attacked him. Take a look.
Honey, we need to talk. We saw the things you've been searching online. Spencer Pratt? Really?
In this house, we don't believe in Spencer Pratt. He's MAGA.
What about Spencer Pratt as MAGA?
You know those streets downtown? The ones that are full of piss and shit and homeless people? He wants to clean them up.
And those neighborhoods that burned down? The Palisades? Malibu? He wants to rebuild them.
You know how people inject heroin in front of children at the park? He wants to stop that.
And that's MAGA?
Yes. It's a very dangerous ideology.
I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Everyone is mad about AI until they see a Spencer Pratt ad, and then they love it. So it's a tool, y'all. It's a tool, and it's here. And you don't need a data center to use it.
Nope, you don't. Definitely don't. Guys, keep it locked here. We'll have hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to report more on the Spencer Pratt election, but
Yes.
hopefully also inspire some of you out there. You're destined to run for office. Some of you are destined to work on campaigns. Ding, ding. Well, that's it for us here in Out of Pocket Live for this Wednesday edition. We're so grateful you guys.
Hopefully we can
tuned in.
find out what the information is before next year.
We'll try. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right.
Spencer Pratt, poor guy.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Right, Ellie?
Yes. All right. We love y'all. We'll catch you tomorrow. Be the sharpest tip of the spear in your circle of influence. Remember, liberty is not free. It requires a very significant level of sacrifice. Your money, your time, your life, sometimes all three. And keep that mic open and stay out of pocket.
Two queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't